Okay, so what we have here is a Dremel 3000 with high grit sandpaper. Well, higher grit than the other one because they have a low grit and then they have a high grit. And this is a high grit, so it's softer than the other one. My males and my other female need the heavier grit sandpaper because it is stronger and because they have really tough nails. Shimmer, on the other hand, does not. She's a good girl, and so she is fine with this low grit. So put your head over there, girl. All right. So I've already done a little bit here to show you. So on these nails, there's 3 things that we're looking for here to show you. First is, right here is the outside casing of the nail. So each nail has 3 parts. It has the extra nail, so the extra growth that we're wanting to trim off. It also has the casing that's on the outside of the nail, so that's the nail portion itself. And the internal part is the quick. We all know that the quick is the part we don't want to hit. But with Shimmer, one of the things that we're trying to do is bring her nails back. So hers are a little bit long because I neglected to take care of them really well for a few weeks, and the quicks grew out and it was a whole thing. So what we're doing is doing what's called exposing the quick for reduction of the nail. So eventually we want to get them back to what you saw in the photo, which is Bane's nail, so we can get them back to about right here, which is called a show length nail, or a maintenance nail. So right now she has a maintained pet nail and I don't like it. Okay, so what we're doing first right here in the front is we're going to go on a speed of about 5. You need about 5 or more. You don't want to go all the way up to 10 because you will burn them. These Dremels do go fast. They're industrial. This one's not made for pet nails. Obviously, it works just fine, but these are really strong, so you don't want to go that high. But the 2 or the 3 is not strong enough. So I found that 5 is usually effective. 6 for dogs' nails that are really tough. And you can go lower for dogs that are just learning or have super soft nails like smaller breeds. So what we're doing here is first we're gonna push the plug back in. Okay, so this is a 2, that's a 4, right here, and this is 5. So we're gonna come up to the front of the nail here. Alright, so this is my fault. I nicked her a little bit. They put it at the dog park, so it's kind of filed the front of her nails down a bit. Should have been looking closer, but as you can see, she didn't freak out, and she's not dying. So once you have found, you're going to file down the front here, and in white nails, oops, come here. In white nails, like she has on her other foot, you can see it here. If you look inside, you can actually see where the quick starts and how much length you can take off. If you have black nails, you just have to go a little at a time to get them to the length that you need. And so that's what we're doing with her. So we're going to pull her forward here. Okay. Alright. So hopefully we can see everything all right. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to basically trim the top off the nail here. As you can see, when the nail grows back in with a reduction trim, it grows back with these big ridges on the top, almost like a fin. I hate that. It doesn't harm the dog. It doesn't do anything. I just don't like the way it looks. I like a nice, smooth, rounded nail. So I trim that off. It also prevents the nail from growing fat and up and arching like this, like a cat claw. So you want to avoid that. So we're going to trim off this top portion here. And then we're also going to file down and try to expose as much of the quick on the inside as we can without cutting into it. And when I do that, you're going to see what I mean here in just a second. Easy girl. Dogs are playing over there in the back, and so she's really interested in what they're doing. So at this point, a slightly slower speed would probably be efficient. Now there's a little tip on the front here that I'm cutting back. I'm not cutting the quick, I'm just cutting that tip. Easy. Okay. So now that we've kind of filed this down to a more manageable length here, what we're going to do is I would usually finish up the rest of her nails doing the same process. You good girl. Yes. Okay, you gotta put your head over there though, because they can't see. Okay. I can't see it when your head's over there. Never file wet nails, please. It's a good way to get nothing done. So, always file dry nails. If you're gonna do a bath, do nails first, then do the bath. Okay, stay. Clipping is different. If you're gonna clip, obviously do wet nails, but filing should be done on dry nails. Okay, stay. So now we're gonna change the bit or the attachment shimmer. Be nice. She's getting a little fussy. Normally we're much faster than this. Now we're going to change to, I believe this is a diamond tipped bit. Not sure of the exact name of it. Here you can see this is the tougher. I don't need your help. The tougher grit sandpaper. So it's much harder. So we are switching to a diamond tipped bit here. Find it. This is a cone shape. There is also a rounded one in here that you can use. I find the cone shape is more effective for what I'm about to do, so we're going to use that one right now. So put that in here. Okay, so what we're using this bit for is to smooth this out and to also trim underneath here. When dremeling, you don't need to just trim the front here. You also need to trim up underneath the nail, under here. And using this, it's soft and it doesn't hurt the paw pad if you touch the paw pad with it. So obviously you don't want to sit there and hold it on the paw pad, but if it taps the paw pad, unlike the sandpaper, it's not going to rip the skin off of the paw pad. So That's what we're using this for. You do have to use this on a slightly higher speed, and you do have to apply a little bit of pressure if you're wanting to take off a lot. But this is mostly for smoothing, and the goal isn't to cut a whole bunch here with this. Shimmer, put the fussy. There we go. Good girl. Easy. Easy. All right. Okay. Stop. Okay. So we were able to expose the quick more on this side. Now we do have a little bit of an edge here. If you're a little bit of a picky SOB like I am, you can take this. I don't know what this is for. I have no idea what it is. All I know is it works for what I'm about to do. And we take it and we file it back and forth. And it helps smooth that ridge down just enough where we can low speed stop shimmer. Low speed smooth it out just like that. Okay. So now the quick is exposed right here on the ends. You can see it's very soft here. And it's a little bloody, but it's not normally that way. Obviously, I was a little idiotic there. The last part is, once again, if you're like me and stingy, is to take the small buffing pad, the thick one, and we're going to remove this. And put this buffing pad in here. Okay. Now that we've got the buffing pad in there, we're going to take this and just buff the nail. Easy. 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 What you're hearing is me hitting this button. It's not me hurting the dog. It's me having slippy fingers. That button is a lock button. It's kind of in a really crappy spot. only really major downside to this Dremel. But they all Dremels, even the ones made for dogs, seem to have that button in that spot. It's quite annoying. And there, folks, we have it. A reduction trim on a toenail. Now, it doesn't look like much, but in a couple days, when that nail starts to grow back out, that quick's going to recede a little bit. And little by little, that nail is going to become smaller and easier to handle. Is this open, Shimmer? Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. You were so patient for me. Good girl. Say bye-bye.